Hello, everybody. I'm Julie Helms. Today I'll be analyzing the Pride and Prejudice movie. So, set in early 19th century England, Pride and Prejudice is based off of the novel by Jane Austen. It's one of my favorite books and movies. And it follows the Bennet family and their daughters as they search for love and fortune and money and stability. But at the center of it is Elizabeth and Mr. Darcy and all the drama and conflict that they go through their relationship. So this movie explores all kinds of different themes that we've discussed in our class this semester. Nonverbal communication is one of them. It plays a huge part in shaping Elizabeth and Darcy's relationship. Darcy is very reserved, stiff demeanor. You can just tell he's very prideful, and kind of full of himself, it seems. Whereas Elizabeth is very witty and has a lot of skepticism, and she's very expressive in her body language and her face, whereas his face is not. He's very just has one face, and that's pretty much it. So it makes it really hard to read him a lot of times and know where he's coming from, what's going on with him. Active listening, or lack thereof, is another key misunderstanding for the two of them in this film. Elizabeth often focuses on her assumptions rather than truly hearing what Darcy has to say. Especially during his first proposal, she misinterprets it as completely as an insult. And similarly, Darcy doesn't fully listen to her concerns about family and social pressures. And eventually, their growth comes because they genuinely begin listening to each other. Their emotional messages in the film are often expressed indirectly through tone, actions, and written communication rather than words. Darcy struggles to verbalize his feelings, but conveys deep emotion through protective behaviors and, most importantly, his heartfelt letter to Elizabeth. And that letter is a huge turning point in their relationship, revealing how sincere he and vulnerable he could be. He just isn't able to give that face to face. Conflict resolution for them centers on Elizabeth and Darcy confronting those misunderstandings and their challenges and their personal biases. Their conflicts arise from the pride, social class differences, and distorted information that they have received from other people in their social circles. Resolution begins when Darcy acknowledges his flaws and addresses Elizabeth's concerns honestly, and Elizabeth reflects on her own misjudgments. And then through open communication, admission of mistakes, and reassessment of perceptions, they achieve reconciliation and mutual respect for each other. Self-disclosure becomes essential in deepening their relationship. Initially, both of them guard their feelings, creating emotional distance. Darcy's letter is the first significant movement of openness, revealing painful truths about his past and his interference in Bingley and Jane's relationship. Elizabeth's gradually Elizabeth's gradual honesty about her feelings shows them allows them to build trust, showing how meaningful connections grow through vulnerability. We got to be vulnerable if we want to have real, true connection with each other. For impression management, the characters carefully manage impressions to navigate social expectations, especially back at that time. That was a huge, huge thing. Elizabeth projects confidence and independence, especially around judgmental figures like Lady Catherine, Darcy's aunt. Darcy presents himself as very composed and dignified, which often comes across as arrogance. And over time, both of them shift their self presentations as they become more authentic with each other and showing how impression management affects relationships and misunderstandings. Social perception and stereotypes strongly influence the interactions in this movie. Elizabeth's early judgment of Darcy is shaped by gossip and assumptions about wealth and status, and Darcy misjudges Elizabeth's family based on class expectations. These perceptions create barriers that only break when both confront the biases that shaped their initial impression. Persuasion and influence appear throughout the film as characters try to shape others' decisions and relationships. For example, Lady Catherine pressuring Elizabeth to reject Darcy, showing how authority can manipulate communication. Similarly, Bingley's sister influences him to distance himself from Elizabeth's sister Jane. These dynamics demonstrate the impact of interpersonal influence on relationships and self expression. The main conflict arises from the pride and prejudice both Elizabeth and Darcy carry, compounded by societal expectations, misunderstandings fueled by class differences, and misleading information. It creates emotional distance. They overcome these challenges through clear communication and self reflection and a willingness to change. By embracing honesty and humility, they resolve the conflict and end up building a healthier, more trusting connection. In conclusion, overall, Pride and Prejudice demonstrates how interpersonal communication, both its successes and failures, shape relationships. And this film highlights the importance of active listening, nonverbal cues, emotional messages, and honest disclosure in overcoming conflict. Elizabeth and Darcy's journey shows that misunderstandings rooted in pride and assumptions can only be resolved through sincere dialogue and emotional openness, proving that communication is the foundation of trust and understanding. I hope that you found this enjoyable. Thank you.